Hey guys, Hawk here. So, my bandsaw died. I don't know, it just won't, that's the motor. And it's just a cheap, literally the cheapest thing I could buy. So, I thought about getting another motor and just replacing it. But to be perfectly honest, I actually use this thing enough where I think it might be time for a good one. But I don't have that money right now, so I think it's just gonna have to wait. I did refurbish this though. I actually got this like a year or two ago, but I haven't had time. It's been sitting in pieces in a shoebox, and I took everything apart. I cleaned everything up, and then I put it back together. And this is a little toggle press. It's a German brand. It's a really, really nice one. These things go for like $1,500 and up when they're new. You can get one on eBay used for like 800, maybe 700 if you're lucky, usually about 900. I picked this one up for 300 bucks. So I definitely couldn't say no to that. And it's beautiful. I got a little bit of grease somewhere that I need to stick in there in a few places, but I mean, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I think this one's rated for like 1,300 pounds, and that's just that last little push there. You get that really, really nice leverage. So, really happy about that. Really sad about that. Another thing that I've noticed is when I edit these videos, for some reason, they're coming out very, very pixelated, and that's kind of pissing me off a little bit. I think it has something to do with Vegas, or what am I using? No, I'm using DaVinci Resolve, and they want you to pay for their service. I think they like cut out the good rendering stuff. You have access to like all the features, but even though you're uploading in 1080 or whatever, this is actually 4K that I'm filming in. But when I go to edit it, it like compresses down and it looks like trash. So that's a little depressing. But I also don't have $300 for that program. I would love to get it one day because I do think it's a very powerful program, but it's just not in the stars right now. I don't even really know what I'm gonna do about that bandsaw because I didn't want to make any big purchases until I got AC going, because this video is going to be very short because it is very hot in here. It's like almost 90 degrees, I think, right now, but the humidity is just so high. The humidity is definitely at 100% right now. It's bad. As a matter of fact, I just resprayed that toggle press with more WD-40 because I don't want it to rust out here in this terrible, terrible landscape. I should probably take my Dremel inside if I'm being perfectly honest. It should be okay for a little while, but I actually don't like leaving my tools out here just because like they definitely can rust. And I left my micrometers out here for a couple months by accident, and I thought they were inside, and when I found them, one of them was like rusted. And so I mean, it's okay. I cleaned it up. They clean up real nice, but it's tarnished now. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. But I really got to get AC out here. I really got to get this place sealed. And I got to get maybe even a dehumidifier in here because I don't want my tools to be ruined. I have a lot of stuff out here. The drill press I'm probably going to want to spray down. But any little dust that gets on that kind of metal, it starts attracting moisture for sure. So I want camera equipment. I want to build furniture. I want tools that work. I'm tired of saying that I want though. You know what I mean? I can erase that. I've finished doing that on my whiteboard. I don't know. It feels really bad to just say, I want. But what I really want is to be out here making things. And I feel like it's hindered by that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to physically be out here. I kind of want my computer out here. I actually talk to a lot of people on Discord while I'm working on things. It's kind of like my happy place, I guess. But it's not in there. It's working on the thing I'm working on. I just happen to be talking to people. So I almost want to bring my computer out here, but I'm definitely not going to do that while it's 80, 90, and 100 degrees in here. Not to mention keeping something like that out here with windows, even though they are heavily tinted. I would definitely want to get some sort of like closed shutters or something so I can open them up if I want, but then keep them closed so people aren't peering in, to be perfectly honest. I just got to come up with a plan, I guess, to do that. Maybe I'll do not a commission, but maybe I'll make a blaster. I do have something in mind. I know it's not going to cover everything that I want to do, but I think Shopify has like an auction option. I'm not 100% sure about that, but maybe I'll start the auction pretty low and just see if anybody's interested. But to be perfectly honest, the only traffic I'm going to get is from my social media, which means YouTube. Here, I'm getting average of like 50 views on these things. I could make a short, which I'm getting a lot more of, average of like maybe 400 or 500. So that could definitely be something. But I know people don't like you advertising something. So I'm going to have to make the blaster on camera, make shorts about it, and sell the process. I hate doing that because I feel like it's distracting from what I'm doing. I really, really, really don't like the idea of that. But I'm not 100% sure I have a choice just because I'm not really a popular guy on other channels. I got to use what I have. That includes, I still post to Instagram, Facebook technically, but there's actually not really a whole lot of people on Facebook. So yeah, I gotta figure something out here just to fund these projects. But I do have some things in mind. I also want to, I'm working on a product right now. I don't know how long that's going to be though. I'm working, that's kind of a little bit of a secret. I'm trying not to spread it around too much what exactly that is. I'm also trying to make a cutting guide for the Hyperstrife. I'm not super committed to that yet just because like I already have my blaster done, or at least the cutting and the integration part. So it's kind of hard to step back and go backwards and basically make another Hyperfire and do that, because it took like 2 weeks to make that cutting guide for the Strife, the half dart Strife conversion. And this is definitely more complicated. So I'm a little worried about that. I do technically know what I'm doing now, though. But I mean, and that's going to be like, but that's, I want that to be a free file. I think I'll do it like I have right now, where instead of putting on Thingiverse though, I think I'm just going to put it on my website and it's going to be free. And then if you want to throw me $1, $5, then that's going to go to a good cause, because it's all going to either pay bills to keep this place on, or, go into getting the things that I need to be out here more so I can make better quality content. Because that is something that I want to do. I want to share knowledge. I want to share my passion for making things. I think I need to get rid of a lot of Nerf blasters. I have a real passion for it. I have a real passion for Nerf blasters. But I think I need to get rid of them. Not the things that I like the Strifes, the Hyperfires, obviously, those guys are staying. I have a few things I actually really, really like my Rough Cut. There's actually Metal Gear in here, way back in the day. There's a few things that I'll keep. But I mean, I see 2 Centurions, one of them Sonic Ice. I know I wanted to make a Mega, I have a Sonic Ice Magnus as well, and I wanted to do an integration. But it's like, if I'm not going to do that, if I'm not going to shut up and do it, then like I got to get rid of it. At the very least, I need to get rid of that Centurion. I know a lot of people like those for integrations. I have a Nemesis right there that I'm not doing anything with. I have a Prometheus right there. I have so much crap, and it's like, all of these things are Nerf blasters. That's Nerf blasters. That's Nerf blasters. That's Nerf blasters. That's Nerf blaster stuff. And a couple blasters. But I mean, what am I supposed to do with all that crap? And I feel like it's going to be cheaper to have it with me. But I feel like if I really wanted to do a project, if I really had a project in mind, I feel like I could get it. I feel like I have the resources of enough people in the hobby to put out an APB and just kind of get something I'm after. So it kind of makes it hard to justify that. And I think the timing with other things that are happening that I'm not going to mention is kind of perfect. Like I'm not going to get out of the hobby, and I'm not going to get out of making modifications for stuff like that when I feel necessary. Like my Destiny rocket launcher, that's not going anywhere. Like, that's literally my two favorite hobbies put together. Why would I get rid of that? But like Hyperfire, I've been searching for Hyperfires, so I actually have quite a few of them now. I have 3 right here, 1 right there, and I think I have another in there. I have quite a few of them. But like this, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to use it. This, I'm not going to use it. Like, if I was going to use a rival blaster, it would probably be this one. But no, actually it wouldn't. It would be the Percy's. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't like springers. I've never liked springers. I don't get springers. This is a nice one, but I just don't get it. This actually broke on me when I moved in here. I pulled it back and it snapped the plunger. So that kind of sucks because I actually kind of like this blaster. This, get rid of, definitely. I don't even know why I have it. I'm honestly thinking about just selling these for pretty cheap. If you're interested, shoot me a message on Discord. I think that's where you can get a hold of me the easiest. But I might just post that on my page and stuff. I know it's going to only be limited because I would have to like ship out things or you'd have to pick it up or something. But honestly, I'm thinking about just putting on Craigslist or something. Even the Ravens, man. Even the Ravens, I'm having trouble justifying keeping. I'll keep the white ones. I like the white ones just because the white plastic is easier to work with when you're painting and stuff like that. My philosophy behind picking the color of blaster, even though you're painting it, is it's eventually going to get scratched. I kind of don't care about my blasters as soon as I'm done making them. Ethereal Fortress, I was done. I looked at it. I was like, cool. And then I, threw it on the counter or something. So, I mean, it's beat to hell. I actually meant to put a blue stripe in there. So when it wore away, you'd see blue instead of orange. But I started with an orange one as a test piece, as a prototype. And it just kind of eventually became the blaster. So I've learned from that. And I do not do that anymore. But, I mean, the blue Ravens are nice. The blue Ravens are nice. But I mean, I have plenty of white ones, and if I'm gonna want anything, it's gonna be white because it's a neutral color. And this, what if I wanted to paint it red? All of a sudden, that's not the one to use. But that one would still work. That kind of thing. So, I mean, I have a freaking Stinger Raven right there, but I'm never gonna do anything with that. These kind of ones, like, they're really small. I don't mind having them. I actually just traded for this. So I actually really wanted that. But, gosh. The sludge fires are definitely staying, but like all that stuff in there, I don't need it. I have a collection of magazines. My God, I think I just picked up more from, I just got all of these, which was probably a waste, but they're 12 round mags. And I have so many magazines, like sets of them. Not anything super off the cuff, but if I find them like actually useful in some capacity, then I tend to hoard them quite a bit. Like I have like 4 or 5 18-round drums, but no other drums because I think drums are dumb. If you use drums, more power to you. I've seen people use them in very nice ways. But for my style of play, I just don't use them. There's other things. Like this guy, the Stratohawk. How am I supposed to get rid of this? This is like the rarest Rapid Strike. And I'm not much of a Rapid Strike guy, but I do have quite a few Rapid Strikes. And this is definitely like the unicorn of the Rapid Strikes. So do I get rid of this? My guts are telling me no. Because you don't see many Stratohawks on the third-party market, to be fair. This one's not in like amazing condition, but it's still pretty nice. And just having that white front piece is like actually kind of a big deal to me. I would probably cast new parts anyway because I think I still have those molds somewhere. But like, what if I just wanted to make like even clear parts for this and just put in like clear parts on this? How sick would that be? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's even though I should get rid of these things, it's kind of hard to actually let them go. But like, I think the Ravens, I think that's an easy give. I have nothing to do with a Raven. I mean, I guess I could do a Rapid Strike Raven, but I've already done that, and I kind of don't want to do another one. I could do a Straven. Those are always popular. Probably get a commission one day. I could probably make a Straven cutting guide. I feel like that's popular enough, or at least it was popular enough to justify doing that. But I feel like at the same time, anyone who wanted to do a Straven has probably already done one. But I mean, there's a new generation, right? There's a new generation of people who haven't done that stuff because there's a bunch of 3D printed blasters, and why would you do that? But maybe there are a few that just want to cut up a blaster. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It really is. And I feel like if you have cutting guides, then you are... I feel like it does take away a little bit from the problems. Okay, that's a lie. It takes all of the problem solving out of it. I'd say it takes away 80% of the solving problem. And that's kind of the fun for me. But I mean, if you have the confidence going into it, oh, I'm not going to screw this up. Or at least I have a much less of a chance of screwing this up. I feel like that's kind of why I want to make those cutting guides. I've not been paying attention where my fingers are placed, and I don't know if I've screwed up the audio yet. Also want a lapel. But if I get one of those, I want a Rode, like the little square clip-on thing. I want one of those, but they come in either a 1-pack, which if you get the single pack, then you can never add more. But if you get the 2-pack, then you can, I'm pretty sure you can add more than 2. Don't quote me on that. But at the very least, you can have 2, and if you only want to use 1, that's fine. So I kind of want the 2. It's like $300 though, just for a mic. But, and then it's like there you have this huge thing clipped on here, and I kind of don't like it flopping around. And so they sell yet another thing, and it's like $80, and it's just a tiny little lapel, and then you can keep the other thing in your pocket. And it's like, yeah, I would want that. But that, together, is almost $400. After taxes, probably is $400. And it's like, can I really justify buying a $400 mic when all I want to do is make something? I guess that depends on how much I like making the videos, how much I want to improve on them, right? And that is kind of one of my goals. I kind of want to force my interest here, mainly because I think if I'm trying to force the angle in my brain. If I have videos, I'm more likely to have an income for this. I'm more likely to have an audience that I can know. If I'm just going to be honest, I'm being transparent. I don't have the ability to have a persona in these videos. I've already given up that. So I'm just going to put everything out there. I have an audience to sell to. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. And I don't want to sell people crap. I'm never going to sell people crap on purpose. But like, if I want something, surely someone else out there on the planet wants it too. I can't be the only one. Because there's many times in my life where I've said, I want something, I'm going to go look for it. And usually I can find it. But there are a few times when I can't find it. It just doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. So my options are to make it or to settle. And generally I have a problem with settling. That is something that I'm trying to get better at. I'm trying to be more settleful. I'm trying to settle more, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to compromise the things I make with my hands. But there is a line there. And it usually has something to do with money. But there is a line there. And time. Time is a big one. But then that kind of comes down to money, doesn't it? I think I need a bandsaw. I don't think I have a choice on the bandsaw. Because I actually make the parts with them. Neo, if you're watching this, if you're this far into it, it broke on your part. I did some of your parts, and then I casted the last one, and then I came out here and flipped the switch, and it made that humming. Totally dead. Yours are the last one that ever... That bandsaw has seen so much action. This made Ethereal Fortress all the way up to Somber Song and everything in between. This thing has at least 2 crossbows under its belt. I mean, I've had it for a while. I feel like there's someone out there that's killed more blasters with a single tool, but this is definitely in the top 10. The Hyperfire for Ethereal Fortress doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but at the time, it was a very, very early leak, an early release, and it was on Walmart for like a couple hours, and I had it next day to me, and then I cut it right in half. So that one was actually kind of a big deal because I literally ripped it apart for that video and then just ripped it straight into the bandsaw. That kind of felt better than cutting a crossbow. Because, I don't know. I paid just about as... I paid more for that blaster than I ever have for a crossbow. But I have a crossbow up there, and it's like I kind of want to put that into another strife, or maybe someone's going to want to commission one day, and I'll have it, because that's kind of a rare one, and it's like... Or I could get $100 out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that could really fuel some things here. I had a cut-up one I actually sold. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see me selling the Stratohawk. But at the same time, like, I feel like this is the real moneymaker. I feel like that crossbow is a big moneymaker. I feel like the ones that I don't want to get rid of the most are the ones that are going to be wanted the most. Sorry, I'm kind of tongue-tied. I just got off work. And if I want to actually build an environment here, then maybe that's what I have at my means, to be perfectly honest. If that's the means, then, I mean, I just don't have time to make a bunch of blasters out my ass. And I'm not going to compromise on them, so they're just going to take a long time. I'm not going to cut corners. I could make cutting guides, and that would make future ones way easier to make. That Talon Strife went from like a 3-day project to a 30-minute one for making that cutting guide. I did all the cutting and all the fitting for that part of a Somber Song in 30 minutes. 30 minutes! If I made a cutting guide for a Hyper Strife, I could pump those things out like crazy and not cut any corners. As a matter of fact, they'd probably come out better. That's an idea. That might be worth putting my money into. I do have like 5 or 6 Hyperfires now. And then at the very least, like if I get $5 or $6 out of making that file set, at least that's something. I do kind of want to make those for free though. I really don't like the idea of... I'm okay with selling digital files, but a cutting guide seems like I'm monetizing just being creative. And I kind of don't want that. That kind of goes against everything I want Adeline to stand for. So I'm not really going to do that. If I make something that's not a cutting guide related, like I don't know. It's kind of, I have a really weird opinion about open sourcing stuff because on one side it generates a lot of growth very quickly, but it doesn't usually involve depth. You can't really innovate when you open source something because when you innovate, that's money. And so if that innovation isn't put out there with the open source stuff, then it doesn't go anywhere. You can't really, if it's an open source project and someone comes out there and monetizes something, forget it. Everybody's against you. It's your whole you might as well leave the entire community. That's with anything, not just Nerf. But that also like opens up a huge problem of it's kind of a hobby. It's always going to be a hobby. It's never really going to be a business. You're never really going to make money off of it. And I know that sounds horrible, but I also have to kind of support myself. So the only people that can do this full time, the only people who have time to innovate in Nerf, for instance, are the people who have the time to do it like a full day job. So I don't know. I would rather start a company and support 5 or 10 people really, really well, like provide for their families type thing, rather than to provide decent, good, or even great products for free to 10,000 people. Is that selfish? I can't tell if that's selfish or not. What do you guys think? I'm being transparent. I'm going to try to edit this without taking out as much as I can. I am stuttering all over the place, so I'll probably have to skip some things. But I'm not skipping my content. I'm going to try to just put it out there. And I think I need to make that clear distinction. There's been very few things that I've censored in that last video that I edited. I think I pulled out like one thing. And I was like, I don't want to say that yet. But I'm never going to... I'm going to try. It's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there. Not everybody's going to like you. That's just kind of inevitable is when you put yourself out there, not everyone's going to like you. It doesn't matter who you are. So, and they're definitely not going to like me. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Video is almost at 30 minutes here, so I think I'm going to cut it off now. Probably get edited down a little bit, but not by much, to be honest. I'll try to get better at the quality. I'll try to get better microphones. I'll try to do better in the future. But to be perfectly honest, I think these are the videos that you're going to get until I actually start doing something, and that's kind of a big step. It's way easier to make one of these a week just talking to myself about plans, about my thoughts for the week, rather than to make a video about actually doing something, because the people on YouTube who make videos about them doing something either post once a month, once a quarter, depending on how big their projects are, or they just pump out random garbage. It's whatever they can make, whatever, it's soulless. It's completely soulless, and I'm not doing that. So, without funds, I feel kind of stuck. I feel like that's greedy, but like I just don't know what to do. So I'll do what I can. I'll tinker while I can, but until I just start making a video. I wanted to make a video doing this. It took me about 2 hours to do this, and I knew it would be decent content, but I knew I could probably get decent content out of it. Why is my camera going in and out of focus? I knew I could probably get decent content out of it, but to be perfectly honest, I just didn't know how to properly set up the camera. I don't know what style video I want to do. Do I do a quick intro and then a time lapse? Do I do a voiceover? Do I what? I really don't know how to do this content. I thought about like ASMR style videos where it's like click spring style, where it's like it's a relaxing process. But not everything I do is relaxing, number one. Number two, when I go to make videos about the relaxing moment, I feel like that's going to take away from my relaxation. And again, I'm kind of down a road where I'm not going to compromise what I'm doing. If the video is me sitting here sanding for 5 hours and I just post that content because that's what I need to do on the blaster, I'm not going to sand it for 2 hours instead of 5. I'm not cutting corners here. That's something that I don't want to do. I am not willing to go that low. Is that the wrong move? Probably. But I am a problem solver and I want to solve that problem. Haven't done it yet. I think I'm just going to have to start making those videos. So I'll try to just film whatever I can next time I have any sort of project I'm working on. I'm not going to film every casting I do. I'm not going to film every time I pick up a screwdriver. But if I'm doing something that I think is remotely interesting, I really should have filmed restoring that press. I'm really sorry. Just gonna have to get better. For now, I think I'm just gonna have to get I just looked it up. I think it's like 150 for a win. It's basically the same exact crap from China, wherever they make that. But like the next step up is like $400. Then you get another jump to like maybe 800, and then it's all the way up to 1,500. And it's like I kind of want a $1,500, like a decent, like I was kind of looking up companies, and I feel like bandsaws are one that could use some improvement. I was hearing that Delta is decent, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure there is like a go-to brand. So maybe that is something that someone can innovate into. Maybe I could make a tool that's a bandsaw. I wonder what features I could put on it. I wonder how precise I could get it. I wonder what I could do with a project like that. I want to make tools. I'm starting to not like the fact that I'm just sitting here in a room saying, I want this, I want that. I know that's not going to make me happy. But I think the act of talking these things out with a camera, talking these things out with people like Homely, who I know is just going to watch this video just because he supports me. Because he thinks my content is worth something. That means a lot, man. And it helps. It helps to circle in my garage and express all the things that I want to do. So thank you guys. I still, of all the crap that happened 5 years ago when I was in Nerf, of all the stuff that happened, the thing that I still remember are the people I talked to, the people who watched my streams. Trico, Neo was one of those guys. I think about those streams probably more often than I should. It was fun. It was great. I kind of want to do live streams. I kind of want to talk to people. I want to interact with people. And God, I know that's not going to get a lot of views. I thought about doing a Dado thing. This video is going to get long. I thought about doing a Dado type thing where I stream live, I do whatever, but I keep in mind that I need to make videos for YouTube. Something I can cut down. So maybe I'll say, okay, I need to record something. I say a line or something. Like, I can literally watch Dado and just copy what he's doing. Not what he's doing, but copy his style. Because he already has it figured out. Why would I need to innovate in that when it already exists? And I literally have a support system on YouTube already if I really wanted to do this stuff. I think that's the direction I want to go. It's so much more fun to talk to people. I kind of want to like even open up Discord to a certain few people and just be like, hey, if I'm streaming and you want to talk about something, just join the Discord. Literally, in the middle of a stream. How cool would that be? Well, if I like it, someone's got to like it, right? Maybe I'll do that. I'll make like an announcement and stuff. If you want to follow that, you can either... I'm definitely going to do it on YouTube first, but I know YouTube punishes you if you live stream too much on here. So I might see if Twitch will allow that. I know they're like really heavily dependent on like what kind of content you stream. So I don't even know if that's something I'm allowed to do or can do on Twitch, but I would probably do it on Twitch in the long run. But the first one, I'm definitely going to do it on YouTube. So if you want to be notified about that, hit the notification bell and it will pop up on your phone or whatever if you set it that way whenever I live stream. Maybe I'll make some posts on Instagram or something. I'll have that in the description as well. And I'll post a date or something once I find an interesting project. I'm saying that because if I say it out loud, then I'll be responsible for it. So yeah, I'm going to announce a date for a live stream. If you want to join at any point, let me know. And I can give you guys permission or something to a Discord or whatever. We'll figure it out. If you wanted more info, comments down below. Discord, you guys know who I am. Thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with me. See you in the next one.